Good evening and welcome back, dear esteemed friends of being, to this new and cherished column of Hammer Reading 2024. We are at the second appointment, therefore at the second episode of the reading of the book, Two Hands and Two Wings, Extraordinary Interview with an Archangel, published by Mediterranean Editions. A book that I wrote, which was released in 2013, and was presented at the Turin Book Fair by Alessandro Maluti. There were the first days of July. I remember that evening I joined the group, after the session had started. For those who do not know what happens during a deep trance session, I explained that in those moments, the person involved in the channeling experiences a void of consciousness, meaning they are not aware of what is being said and done during the trance. His body becomes merely a means that allows the channeled entity to communicate with those present. There is no perceptive consciousness of the subject. Therefore, during the channeling, Francesco is not aware of what is happening, let alone the words spoken by his mouth. As soon as I entered the room, I saw Francesco's body sitting on the sofa with about 20 people, very attentively listening. "Hello, Anna. We were waiting for you. Come and sit here, in front of me." I immediately heard the angel channeled by Francesco say, and jumping here and there among those present. I sat down on the cushion in front of him. "You know," Anna began, "you men write many books about us angels, but you do not write the most important things, those that are necessary for you to live your lives." "Well, I'll respond right away. You know what I do for a living. If you want, you can tell me what you think. If it's important to write, I will write it. But there is much to write about." "Oh, it doesn't matter. It means we will have a long interview," I reply. "But there is really so much to say, Anna." "Well, if one interview isn't enough, then we'll just have to write a book." "Indeed, dear Anna, it's been a long time since you should have written it, you know. We had to wait for your husband to die to have you here, in front of our eyes. And now, the time has come to do it." At that point, I immediately understand what lies behind the words that the penalizing angelic entity has just told me. She wants to tell me that in my life I first had to close the cycle of being a wife and a mother, waiting for my children to grow up. At that time, my children were 23 and 25 years old. In order to be free and available to take on a new task and to face a new life, I also understand that a new cycle was about to open along my path, and that everything that had happened before in my life made sense, and had been nothing more than preparation for what was to come in a few moments. I begin to speak precisely about the meaning of life. After a while, she stops and tells me, "You will write this at the end of the book." So I immediately respond, "But if this is the end of the book, can we talk about what to put at the beginning?" "All right," and I continue to speak, but while he is talking, I am already thinking about the title of the book. 2 years, 2 years. Do you like it as a title instead of writing a book with 4 hands? As we men often do, let's write a book with 2 hands, fine, and 2 wings, yours. Wonderful. The attendees exclaim, 2 hands, 2 wings. Yes, I like it. It's very beautiful even though we don't have wings. He replies promptly, "Oh, I know, but we love to represent you like this, so tell me what we can do. How do you want us to work to conduct this long interview?" "We need to meet alone. We must meet alone. You prepare the questions you want to ask me. what you men want to know from us. And I will tell you what you can and should know. All right. I will coordinate with Francesco on how to meet, and I will start preparing the list of questions right away. Here it is, what you have heard, the beginning of the story of 2 dances and 2 years. That evening, Francesco and I met periodically, whenever we could, to conduct the interview he asked me to do. It wasn't easy to do it, I must say. But there are also many reasons for that. First of all, it is important to emphasize the great difference and diversity between me and Francesco. Not only age, but also interests, life paths, personal history, the work situation of both, and ways of thinking. In short, the beginning was not an easy start for working together. Francesco, with the impulsiveness and instability of his 22 years, and I, still carrying the remnants of emotional suffering and my work commitments, with a maturity tested by these appointments that Francesco would forget or cancel at the last moment, overwhelmed, quite rightly, by the hormonal storms of a 22-year-old. Thus, over the years, with much patience and equal paternal care, I managed to bring the boat into port and complete the task assigned to me by the planners. I said, however, that over time, Francesco has grown, and so have I, and as a result, the organization of meetings has become less burdensome, while my workload has increased instead. Every meeting was recorded, and then transcribed by me. Hours and hours of desk work just to have all the material printed out in front of me. After the transcription, very interesting testimonies on topics not covered in the interview, collected over several years. And then, all this material needed to be reorganized. The first draft of the journal book, as I call it. And I call this interview, which then became a book. Well, I wrote the first draft during a retreat at the monastery of Saint Biagio of Mondovi, and when I did it, I followed the classic interview format. Question-answer and so on until the end. I must tell you that when I reread everything, and it was over 400 pages, I thought to myself that it wasn't good enough, that I needed to use a more direct and concise formula, so I discarded everything and started from scratch. And here we are now, with the pages you will read after this introduction of mine, perhaps a bit long, but necessary to frame everything, and to prevent you from being tempted to think that I might also be a poor madwoman banging on pots and talking to angels. To be honest, with archangels. The testimonies of my great friend Leto will guide you along a circular path that goes from heaven to earth, and from earth to heaven, a journey that starts with the angels and ends with us humans, only to then depart again towards the higher spheres. You will find all the key and useful steps to help you build, I hope, in your minds and in your hearts, the true meaning of life, and, above all, of death. This interview is for everyone, but I already know that it will not be for everyone. Each of you is free to believe or not in these words, in the words you will read, in these pages. But it will be your free will that allows you to decide whether to believe or not in what you will find written by 2 hands over 2 years. The result of a long process carried out over 10 years, during which I used the tools of the trade for my interviews on Earth, including paper, pen, a list of questions, and a recorder. All of this was to preserve the sources of the information collected. and for safety. I also place them in a safe. As a journalist, I must say that I have become very passionate about this work. And as an ordinary person, I know that there are still many questions that need answering. Many, but they surface. However, on a personal level, over the years, I have managed to better understand the topics discussed, and also the lessons that have been imparted to me. And today, the day I feel that I have gained a good awareness of life, that I have understood who we are, where we come from, and what awaits us after death. And for me, this is a lot. It is a realization that has cost me many trials, and also a lot of fear. Yes, fear. Because it is another important thing I have learned while working with angels, with archangels. So, with the good, is that when you work for the light, those who are on the other side, on the side of shadows, on the side of evil, make an effort to annoy you, to put obstacles in your way, and try to lead you astray, even attempting to eliminate you. So many things have happened to me since I started working on this task of mine, and more than once I have seen my life on the edge of a precipice, not to mention those things that I call mischiefs. Burnt computer, missing files, obstacles, car accidents, and even domestic incidents. Health problems that forced me to take breaks. It was as if they had put me in a wind tunnel, like they do with cars, to check the level of airtightness. But does this happen? To everyone who writes books about angels, one evening I asked my friend Arcangelo, and he replied, not to those who express a human thought about angels, but to those who write our words. Yes. The important thing is that you finish quickly once the work is done. They won't bother you anymore because their intention is precisely to prevent you from writing our words. From that evening, after those words, I realized that the story was becoming quite challenging and dangerous, and that I needed to pay more attention to what I was doing. Well, I know that throughout all these years, the angels have protected me and have always rushed to my aid in my time of need. As they remind me from time to time, I have become a special subject of observation for them. But it is also thanks to their support that I was able to overcome my fear. I had periods when fear kept me away from the book. Every time I started working on an interview, something would always happen. I was even afraid to open the computer to work on those pages. At the end of the book, when I started to review with the higher plans, page by page, what I had written, that is, the summary of years of interviews, I also became a victim of a terrible accident in which I came within a step of death, and 5 months later, as if that weren't enough, I had a heart attack. And at that point, I began to see fear in the eyes of my children as well, who, without ever saying anything to me, were asking if I had to risk dying to write this book. And believe me, writing these pages was truly a battle between good and evil I had nothing to envy from. Star Wars. During the interview, my friend Leto and I evaluated together the use of terms and the concepts to be expressed. I guided him in choosing the most understandable words for man, and he guided me in teaching me and helping me understand what was important to communicate. In short, it is truly a work of 2 hands and 2 wings, as the title of this book states. And I must say that, aside from the fear and all the negative interference, I also enjoyed doing it. But our friend Arcangel also enjoyed listening to the metaphors I used to make concepts that are very distant from the human mind understandable. Some evenings, I remember wishing I could be a great film director, the capture our dialogues, and recreate the atmosphere in which the scene took place. I was on the armchair with the recorder in hand and the list of questions. Francesco on the sofa, sitting near the fireplace in my living room. The light dim. Then, the beginning of the channeling, and the sound of a very sweet voice. Around me is a vast field of energy, the kind that allows for quantum leaps, and it is just us, me, and an archangel, unaware of Francesco. Everyone is immersed in a sea of peace and tranquility, completely absorbed in observing from above the human condition, the struggles of man, and his desperate need for love. Well, what a beautiful film that would be, eh? Reading this interview, you will find many pauses that I wanted to leave, in order to respect the rhythm of her words. It was not easy to sort and reorganize the vast amount of material collected over the years, and to give it an appropriate sequence for human logic, that is, to create a path, in an acceptable way, for our minds. I worked with a very meticulous and accurate system to ensure that no important passages from this lengthy interview were left out, and in the end, before sending the journal book to print, I checked, as already mentioned, every page with them. And the work of checking, of reading carefully, page by page, has been an unforgettable experience. Some evenings, those I call the great leaders arrived, meaning angels of a higher level than the archangels, or archangels of the same level, but with different tasks and stronger energies, entities whose names I cannot disclose, because the name is not important. It is only important for humans, not for us, as they assert. At certain moments, I honestly confess that I have also felt a bit like an outsider in the universe, observed, and sometimes treated firmly, and with a certain detachment, but only by some. I could tell from the tone of their voice, and perhaps it was just my impression, that before granting me trust, as a common mortal, they interrogated me extensively to verify if I was sufficiently prepared, if I had understood correctly, if I had studied. Their words, essentially, just as we do in school. I see that you are very well prepared. I had heard about you, your role, and this book. I wanted to come and meet you, one of the senior leaders, a higher level entity, that of the archangels, told me during one of the recent assessments. Well, that evening was tough, but in the end, I received their validation. In short, it went well, and I passed the exam, and it was above all the most exciting evening. For the first time, I truly understood what the difference in level means. What does it feel like to encounter increasingly advanced angelic entities? It's fantastic, believe me. You feel captivated by their energy, and everything around you takes on substance, including your body. Just feel this condensed energy that wraps around you like a life buoy and isolates you from everything else. You feel light, no longer aware of the boundaries of your body. And in the end, when they leave, you remain there, stunned and incredulous. And you keep repeating, but did this really happen to me? Did it really happen? But why me? If I tell people about it, they'll think I'm crazy. It is very interesting to see their curiosity in wanting to understand the human dimension. Our physical perceptions, that can only be known through our body, that is, through channeling, that is, through trance for incorporation. They explained to me that through trance, what do? They modulate their energy and bring it to the level of the energy of our body, and only then can they make contact, and thus understand our perceptive vibrations, and consequently, the dimension of man, that is, to feel what a person experiences in their earthly life. The great energy that came to meet me that evening at one point asked me, "Can I touch you, Anna?" And so I gave him my hand, and he touched me and said, "But are you too?" Then it touched me gently and added, "But also soft." "Anne," it exclaimed, so surprised, astonished by this sensation of hardness, of softness. And there I understood, later receiving confirmation, that that elevated entity had never had contact with a man. This is also explainable, because as you will read in the pages that talk about them, only some angels, some of these extraterrestrial entities, concern themselves with humans. The majority of the angelic hosts are instead assigned to other tasks. Those that do not exist in the universe are places. However, I believe that for those who look after us, it is quite a demanding job. To stand behind everything that a person chooses to do with their free will, well, it must be a bit like standing behind an army of children growing up, but who knows how much trouble they will cause and what they will be capable of doing. What experiences I have lived on another evening of reflection, the great energy that came to include the work, at a certain point asked me, "What do you men say to greet someone you know you will never see again?" I replied promptly, "Well, I will not forget you, I will carry you forever in my heart." And then when I finished answering, heard him say to me, "Carry on reading," and so I continued to read the pages that were about love. He listened carefully to my words, interrupting me only to emphasize or to enrich some points, and at a certain point it wanted to know more about what a man feels when he loves, that is, his sensations, and how he behaves. It was very interesting to witness the meeting, the exchange that was taking place at that moment between two dimensions, between me and him, between two different planes of existence. It was truly very emotional, and in the end, before leaving, it left me with a sweet, "So I'm going. I won't forget you, Anna." I remember that night I couldn't sleep and kept thinking about everything that had happened that evening during the test. At first, the Archangel I had worked with over the years had arrived. Shortly after, he left to make way for the Archangel with whom I reviewed the pages I had written about love, and who left me with the question of, "But I wonder what it means to not be forgotten by an Archangel." I kept thinking, but who knows what it means? When we say, "I will not forget you," we know that our mind is constructing this image in the memory of an emotion, or the face of the person we do not want to forget. But said like that by an angelic, extraterrestrial entity, who knows what it means, in terms of life, in terms of experience for them. In short, strange and intense things that are not easy to manage for our mind and our heart. But I have always remained very grounded, with my feet firmly on the ground. Those who know me and are aware of this experience often say that I am a somewhat special person, but I, while recognizing that I am living an adventure beyond the ordinary, believe I am just a humble witness, a tool. There, testament to the good part of the universe. With my Skype press, as I call it, I have the press on the upper floors. I provide a service and hope to communicate as best as I can what they tell me. By the way, don't you think that angels can tell us everything we want to know? Often, they have responded to me with a nice no comment on certain issues, telling me that man is not obliged to know everything, while on the other hand, they have told me things that I was not authorized to write. Because talking to an angel or an archangel is different. It is different from talking to a spirit. Those who have experiences of mediumship can understand that in the angel there is not the limited knowledge of the spirit. Spirits still need to grow, and evolve. Angels, on the other hand, are fantastic. They are already pure knowledge. When you talk to them, you feel the depth of their knowledge, and you feel your soul and heart breathe. They are extraordinary creatures of infinite sweetness, but not always like this. On some evenings, I have worked with very strong and determined archangels, accustomed to fighting against evil, who made me understand what it means to stand on the side of good, to belong to the angelic ranks, to belong to the force of light. I felt waves of energy vibrating in the room where we were, in my lounge. I witnessed energy battles between the forces of good and those of evil, without seeing them, but only feeling the wind, the movement of the air that they caused. Their energy was so strong and present that I felt the invisible world knocking at the door of every single cell in my body. And above all, I learned, as they taught me, that the forces of good, when they arrive, always triumph over the sea. Only on earth can it happen that evil prevails, because, as you will read, evil belongs to our dimension, and not to that of heaven. On those evenings, I realized that they were truly things from another world, extraordinary and overwhelming experiences, and I was living a crazy experience, not knowing whether I was on a film set in the living room of my house. They were breathtaking experiences that, once the trance was over, I shared with Francis, who was an absent witness to those evenings. Fortunate is he who did not experience those moments of fear, but each of us, as our friends from the higher planes say, has a task. In this story, the role of Francis is to allow our winged brothers to speak with me, to act as the modem, as I jokingly call it. Instead, it is my task to write, communicate, and carry their words around the world. In summary, I have to be the press office of the higher planes. I have become, in other words, a sky press, the press office of heaven, not a bad new profession, a new way of doing journalism. I do not hide the fact that even today I ask you, but why me? Why did it happen to me? But if I observe my life, I find the answers and see the invisible design that gives meaning to all my experiences and my paths. My excessive sensitivity since I was little, my studies in pedagogy and psychology to learn about the human mind, to study teaching, that is, transferring knowledge to others in a way that they can understand it, and my research in the field of spirituality, mediumship, energy, and many studies on energy, as well as contact with those worlds. And then the subsequent studies in journalism and public relations to learn how to use communication tools and relate to more people. The years of teaching at the university, in the psychology course, were just a preparation. The meeting with Francis. In the end, everything comes full circle. It is as if I had unconsciously prepared myself to carry out what my winged friends call the true purpose of my life. And perhaps I should prepare another book to tell everything I have experienced. Well, now, after all this talking, I imagine you are curious to know the name of the Archangel I interviewed, right? Oh, I would really like to be able to tell you, but I couldn't convince them, so let me write it down. I have explained to them several times that the human mind needs these embellishments, that it wants to know the name because it needs it to create an identity, but it has nothing to do with it. I couldn't manage to bring it home, this well-said name. I can only write the word angel, and it has already been a concession obtained after a long, very long negotiation. They wanted you to simply write the word friend. You may ask why the name cannot be written. What is the problem? I have also asked this repeatedly, but I have always felt that the response was that the name is not important. What matters are the words. You need a name to be recognized. Those around you. We only need to feel what your soul is, to understand who you are. And that's fine. After a while I resigned myself. And I understood that there must be a reason regarding the name that was far from our minds. I probably believe that there is a security system on their side as well. However, one must not forget that there is indeed a struggle between good and evil. In the collective imagination, we have Hollywood that teaches Hollywood to set. Therefore, defense strategies exist, not only on earth, but also in heaven. 2 Hands and 2 Wings, as I wrote at the beginning, is a work that is worth a lifetime. Fine. But it is above all a gift for all of us, and I hope it can serve as much as possible and help many people, both those who believe and those who do not, with respect for everyone. Angels are ultimately the most accepted messengers by humanity and are present in all religions. They are the true messengers of death. And you will understand this by reading this extraordinary interview. I do not want and do not intend to convince anyone. Everyone must follow their own path. They must follow their own way. With my experience over all these years, I have come to understand deeply what it means to be responsible for one's choices. That is why I have deep respect for it. There is a time for each of us, and it is not the same for everyone. With all my heart, I hope that today is your time, and that life has placed these words, this book, in your hands to give you a great gift, just as it did for me, in the summer of 2001. 2 hands. 2 years. The toolbox to always have at hand to face life with less anxiety, with fewer fears. It is not just one of the many books written by man. It is much, much more. In these pages, there is everything important to know in order to manage time better, the time of our lives. A condensed collection of knowledge and love that the archangels have made available to humanity. Will we know how to make good use of it? Let us hope so. And now, before I hand over to my friend Archangel for his introduction, here are my final pieces of advice for you. To read this book, choose a corner of peace. Make yourselves comfortable, and prepare to receive an exceptional gift. This interview represents what man has always wanted to know, and the manual for life. You should always carry it with you, so that you have it available in times of difficulty, or keep it on your bedside table and read a few pages every evening before you fall asleep. It was like drinking a warm herbal tea for your soul, and doing a useful exercise to remind ourselves of our true essence, the true meaning of life and of death, especially the importance of our time. After my introduction, you will find that of the Archangel I interviewed, and at the end, you will also find 2 conclusions and 2 acknowledgements, just as at the beginning, with the 2 introductory sections, thus 2 introductory limits and 2 conclusions and 2 acknowledgements at the end. Our friend Winged wanted it this way, and as you can see, we have always worked hand in hand and wing to wing. For his words, I chose a direct form, a long quotation, as it seemed to give you the opportunity to experience a closer connection with him. The sequence of topics is very important, which is why I invite you to read the book for the first time by following the order of the pages. You can skip pages afterwards, but not the first time. I recommend reading from the beginning to the end. If you need to go back to find the thread again, or to remember what you have already read, follow the order of the topics. Follow the order, and this will help you understand, develop the right awareness, and lead you to structure one piece of knowledge after another until the end of the journey. So, for the first reading, do not forget to follow this path. Trust me, it will be a lovely tour. It starts with the angels and then returns to them, passing through very interesting destinations. I am certain that with this interview, I have not answered all the existential questions that humanity poses. As I write, I keep coming up with more, but at a certain point, I had to decide to put an end to it and go to print. And from the higher plans, they say that this is just the beginning, that this book is only the first in a series. I do not know what will happen next, but Skype Press, the press office of Higher Plans, has now opened its doors, and then we will see what happens. Excellent advice. When you read the words of the Archangel, imagine hearing his voice within you, the voice of a friendly angel speaking to you with love without judging you, an angel who gives you advice, points out your mistakes, your difficulties, and invites you to reflect calmly on your life. Listen to that voice. Feel it vibrating, not in your head, but in your heart. And live joyfully with this extraordinary gift. And now, the floor is yours, dear friend, Elantro. And with these words, I conclude my introduction and this second episode of Summer Reading 2024, and I look forward to seeing you at the next episode, where we will read is Introduction. I thank you, dear friends of being. I thank you for choosing us, for subscribing to our channel, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Welcome back, dear friends of ESSERE. Welcome back to this channel and to the third episode of the column Summer Reading 24, a listening segment in which I read to you the pages of Two Hands, Two Wings, the extraordinary interview with an archangel, a book published by Mediterranean Editions and released in 2013. Introduction. So, This is the book of the world, indeed. It is the book for the world, the book for mankind, the book for you, who are living the adventure of life on earth, overwhelmed by joys and sorrows. It is the book for you who struggle to understand the meaning of your life and your death, for you who are afraid of losing life, that life which you often do not live and which you would like to start living only when your body is about to die. But above all, this is our book for you, for your heart. It is the guide we offer you to help him open up and discover new horizons, to teach you to breathe and overcome obstacles and live. Read and listen to our words, for they are the key that unlocks the door to life. These are the angels' advice for you. Isn't it nice to know that even the angels can help you with their guidance? It doesn't happen every day, does it? And not everyone is as fortunate as you to be able to read our words. No one in your world can bring the happiness that accompanies our words, and do you know why? Because we speak to your heart, not to your mind. Speaking to your heart means helping you to live better in the world to which you belong today, and above all, helping your soul to live on when you are no longer of this world. Imagine that this book is a sun, a great sun full of energy just for you. Pages of knowledge and love that are meant to give you strength to face the wonderful journey of life along the path of growth and transformation. It is a magical book. It is the book of our words, not the book of man's word, where, in addition to love, one can find suffering, anguish, fear, anxieties, and worries. No, on these pages you will find only love, because the angels know only love. Read it as you would read a fairy tale, but with a child's heart, with a light, open, and free heart, without grooves for the mind to walk in, and you will see that everything will be easier to understand and accept. Will you be able to find your childlike heart again? Give it a try. Let go of all conditioning. Slowly release them from within you, along with the air you breathe, and allow your heart to remain air. Free yourself from every burden, from every weight that you drag along with you each day, from every emotional wound that tears not only at your heart but also at your mind. Free from all those negativities that create walls of distance between you and life. Commit yourself to benefit the most from what you will find written on these pages, and read our words carefully. I will speak directly to you, so we can connect immediately, as if I were present before your eyes, and closer. I will accompany you through all the pages until the end, and it will be like spending time in the company of a very wise and evolved friend, who knows many things and has plenty of useful advice to give you. It's easy, isn't it? And you will see that your commitment will be richly rewarded. Let us begin immediately with a hug, just as you men, who when you meet a friend, a hug between our energies, a hug between earth and sky. Take the book with your right hand and place your left hand on the page you are reading, but without pressing down on the sheet, and wait. What do you feel? Air, fresh air, or warm? What do you feel, and what do you think? This air is. At this moment, it is us. We are the angels who wish to testify in this way to our presence and our gratitude to you for coming before our words In truth, it is not just us who move the air, but also an invisible friend who is always close to you, a guide who loves and adores you, accompanying you throughout your life. Right now, it is He who makes you feel this air, because I asked Him to. I know that you might find it hard to believe, but it is the truth. Near you, around you, there is not just air. There is something else. Where does that air you are feeling right now come from? Do you have the windows open? Close them, too, and you will see that the air will not leave. It will continue to blow on your hand, even if you see nothing. And it seems to want to tell you to learn to listen to me. I am here for you. Now you know that no man is alone on earth. Today you met me, you know that I exist, and that I will exist for the rest of your time. Do not ignore me any longer. Do not forget me. I care for you, and I will always care for you. I am your spirit guide. I am the one who lives silently beside you, to help you, and I will never leave you throughout your life. Do not be afraid. In a few pages, you will know what you then need to know, and you will learn and discover many interesting things about the guiding spirit that each of you has. At this moment, I am close to you and smiling, because I know that many of you will not believe my words, and may already be raising doubts about whether I truly exist. Yet, I do not have all these doubts that you have. I believe that you exist. Otherwise, how could you read my words? You men are a bit strange. You believe in many things, but you cannot see, yet not in others. For example, you believe in air. Even though you cannot see it, you breathe in something invisible, yet you believe it exists. You do not even see your solitude. It is close to you. You do not like it. It makes you suffer, yet you accept it. You live it, and you believe it exists. And so now I make you a proposal. Why not try to place next to you, instead of loneliness, instead of the negative, suffering condition, the awareness of something good, something positive, something that exists even if you cannot see it? Why not try to believe in us, in our presence? Beside you, we exist even if you do not see us. We exist for you. We exist to help you, just as is happening now. The book you hold in your hands is the concrete proof of our tasks, and has been desired by us, angels for you, to offer you help, great help, words that mankind has never received before, words spoken and written to help you live better, words for you who are afraid, for you who suffer, who do not live well in this world, and struggle to walk. Love, suffering, and hatred are the things that unite humanity. With my words, I will try to bring you knowledge precisely on these aspects, to give you the opportunity to choose to become more beautiful inside and out. If you are more beautiful inside, deep within your soul, you are also more beautiful in your outward appearance. Your body is healthier. You feel more cheerful, stronger, and less aggressive towards yourself and the rest of the world. If your soul is unwell, then your body, mind, and heart are unwell too. And you know this well, don't you? The lack of energy within you and around you only brings about hatred, anxiety, sorrow, and illness. Now it is time to open your heart and let my words flow. And if by the end of the book your energy is more balanced, I would like to say that you will have understood, among many things read, the most important thing, that man on earth is not alone, that near you exists the embrace of all of us, and the embrace of that friend, your spirit guide, whom you have never considered, and whom you will learn to know, listen to, and love from today. I wish your ears could hear my voice, for my voice is more penetrating than a written word, but that is not possible. However, it is possible to let you know, through words, what we believe is most important for you and your soul. We want you to live, to truly live, not as man is doing today. We want you to be well because only then can you live to live and do good for yourself and for others. Live by learning to eliminate that negative part within you which creates only hatred, suffering, and sorrow, and makes you collapse, that condition which takes away your strength to move forward, to walk, to live. We suffer greatly for you men. We follow you in your lives, and we see you waste so many opportunities. You are like twigs that break and hurt, when instead you should be twigs that bend to earthly experiences. And that, when the wind blows hard, and life blows hard, do not let themselves be shattered. You have the strength to speak with us, but you do not call us you have the power, but you do not use it. You have happiness, yet you do not see it. You have love, but almost always you use it to cause suffering. It is only when you experience suffering that you question what love truly is. Do you understand what I mean? You have many things at your disposal to live, but you do not use them. This is why I am here, before your eyes. Now, I have come to help you learn to live without hurting yourself anymore. To teach you how to use the infinite resources that belong to your condition. And I hope that my words remain engraved, not only on the pages you are reading, but also and above all, in your heart and in the heart of any man who wishes to listen to you. Anna has received from us the knowledge necessary to help you understand better and to carry our words around the world. She is also our book for you. Today I am finally here to tell you I exist and I love you, and do not be afraid. No man is only that which is your land. Live the experiences of your time, and above all, remember to live your life in goodness and joy. Learn to love this book because it brings you the words of a friend. Do you have friends? Well, if you don't have one today, it's a lucky day, because you've found a rather special one. I exist. Angels exist. Man must understand that we not only exist, but that we are here to help you save yourselves and your soul. Learn to believe. Believe in your own way, and according to your cultures in something that many of you call God. Believe in an infinite energy that everyone can access and benefit from, an energy that caresses you, that makes you feel good. Believe in a great mother made entirely of energy. It doesn't matter how your mind imagines her. What matters is that you learn to believe. But there is something beyond your dimensions, from which you have been generated. You, woman or man who are reading this right now, do not use your mind to think, to trust what my words are telling you and will tell you. Use your heart, not your mind, and ask him if what I say is true. I trust your heart, you know. If your heart says yes, Ut. If your heart says no, that's fine, because at least up to this moment you will have read my words. But your heart will say yes, because we have the key to reach them, and so do you. Remember that this is the book for the world, for your world, the book of angels for you, the true word of an unknown energy. So many times they have asked for permission to write my name, explaining to me that to satisfy the needs of your minds, it would be important to know who I am, what my name is. But now that I am here, before your eyes, I ask you, is it really that important for you to know my name? I could call myself many things. You don't see me. You don't hear me. Any name I said I had would be fine, wouldn't you agree? For you, it is important to understand that it is not the name, but only my word that will serve you. It is not so important to feel who is in front of you, or who is more important, but to get used to feeling within your soul. I am speaking to you, not because I want my name to be written on all the walls of your world, or in all the books. My name will not be mentioned. I do not need, and do not want fame. I do not want a claim from you in your world. This is important, but not in ours. What distinguishes us from you is not knowing who you are, knowing your name, but what you say, your words. For us it is the light that is within you. That matters, not what you have outside, not your name. To identify yourself, and to identify any man, what is important to us is the soul. And the soul has no name. I do not call it by name, I call you by name. Your body, but not your soul. For this reason, I want my name to be erased. My words are my name. My words are my name. What you feel inside when listening to them, that is my true name. That is the truth. Your heart must ask itself what it feels, whether I am good or whether I am evil. This is what removes all your fears about what you cannot see. And do not fear. Your heart knows how to recognize good and also knows how to recognize evil. My words, they are what I am, what I want to be, and what I want to convey. But above all, they are what the world, that you men, do not see. That world which you men do not see wants to tell you something. I am simply an angel, a friend from the other world. And now smile, the journey into my world and yours is about to begin. Close your eyes and place your hands on your heart. Open them again and begin to read my words. And with these words, the third episode of summer reading 2024 comes to an end, and I look forward to seeing you at the next episode. Thank you all for choosing us, for following this column, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Dear friends, welcome back to the Summer Reading 2024 series, 4th episode. The reading of Two Hands, Two Wings continues. Extraordinary Interviews with an Archangel. The book I wrote, published in 2013 by Mediterranean Editions. We have finished the introduction, and this evening we are preparing the interview. It is as if you were listening to his words. And we begin right with them. The first paragraph is, Angels, just for you. Before embarking on a journey, you are accustomed to preparing the things you will take with you that will be useful along the way, while leaving behind those that are unnecessary or could cause you discomfort, risking to ruin everything. For our journey, it will also be useful to bring only what will truly help make the experience much easier and provide you with greater benefit. I therefore ask you to forget everything that has been written or said about us angels in other books, and I ask this not to diminish the significance of other books, but simply because I do not want confusion to arise within you between my words and those written by others. Because those are not my words. Right now, however, you are here with me. For the first time, you are here with me. How? You need to listen to my words without confusing them with others. This is a magical moment, a very important moment for your life. Stop and experience it fully. Allow yourself to be involved. Put your mind at rest for a while and open your heart wide. Do you want to know who the angels are and what they are made of? Why do we exist? What do we do? Well, the time has come to have some answers. Dear soul, listen. I am energy. I am strength. I am courage. You do not see me, but I exist. Look at me. You are reading my words, and it is as if you are looking at me. I do not write to intimidate you, nor do I write to change you. I write to help you. Open your eyes, not your own but those of your soul, and do not think that what you read are the words of a man, for that is not the case. Rather, think of them as the words of an invisible friend, because that is how it is. I am not speaking to your ears. I am not speaking to your mind. The only thing I need from you right now is your smile, your joy, your heart. Erase the anguish, the pain, the fear of life and death that you have today, because by the end of this book, you will no longer have it. I ask you not to think about everything that is inside and outside of you at this moment. Think that right now. It is just us who exist. You and God. I am here to teach you how to open that channel that allows you to connect with me and to open that door that you men have closed for a long time, choosing to throw away the key. How many things exist in your land, on your land? 10. Trees, rivers, mountains, animals, seas, sky. But beyond the sky, beyond the clouds, what is there that you cannot see? I'll tell you this. There is still so much more life, different from yours, far beyond the boundaries of your mind. A life that your mind cannot imagine, cannot comprehend because it just can't. It cannot do it. Because it is too small to encompass a reality that is infinitely larger and unknown to her. Dear soul, around you, there is a world that you do not see, but it exists. Learn to look better, and you will see that through a ray of sunshine, you will be able to glimpse what until now you could not see. A ray of sunshine that brings you knowledge, awareness, and light. What would you like to know about me? Who am I? What is my name? Where do I come from? None of this is important, but do not worry. I will answer your questions. I will start by telling you the most essential thing about me. What you men must understand regarding the meaning of the existence of angels. Many of your words about us can be summed up in a single sentence, simply that angels are nothing other than life, the life that wants to help you live. You do not know who I am. I, on the other hand, know who you are. And how do I know this? I know that you are a man, and like all men, you live life, grappling with your problems. Every day I see you struggling on the path of time. Every day I hear you asking why. Every day I hear you cursing, bleeding, asking for help. That is why I am here today, just to give you help. It is to tell you not to be afraid. Open your arms to us and let yourself be lifted by our spirits. If I am here before your eyes, it is only for this. It is to help you walk, to help you live better and truly. And it will be beautiful, you will see. Many men, when they hear the word angel, immediately lock their minds and hearts. But they do not realize that by doing so, they choose to forego a great support. We angels are created and exist to help the universe. A part of us has the exclusive and specific task of caring for and safeguarding your souls, that is, you humans. You men who are nothing more than incarnate souls. You who are part of the universe. We are not, then. We are not generated by the earth. We are not earth. We are energy. We live in another world. A world parallel to yours, completely different. Where planets and stars do not exist, and neither does the sky matter does not exist. Your dimension is like a great dream. Our dimension is like a great dream, an immaterial world, where everyone lives in their own dream, just as you live on Earth. Well, we live in our great dream. We do not need to experience living in matter, living on Earth to evolve, to become great energies. Angels do not need to incarnate, they have never been human, and if they do, it is only to help you. Angels are pure energies. We are born pure and created to defend, to be, that is, to exist, to love, to help, to speak, to save. We have, as you would say, a great mother, a higher power that generates children, us. Children made of pure energy. Angels. We are born with tasks, already assigned, and each one must take care of their own mission. We are gifted strength, intelligence, spirit, wisdom, knowledge. And then the most important thing is that we are given the heart. But not a heart like yours. In our heart, there is only love. In your case, there exist both positive and negative feelings. We do not know a negative feeling. We recognize it. We perceive it. But only in you humans. And do you know what your negative feeling resembles? It resembles a strange, energetic vibration, very impetuous and turbulent, and like a strong wind, it is an energy that does not belong to the universe. And perhaps all this may seem strange to you, but negative feelings are something that has been generated solely by man. They were born on Earth, belong to the Earth. and are the result of free will, the power that man has to choose between good and evil. Think about how much it costs us, and how much we love you to continue to stay close. We who know only love, and never stop helping you, even when you choose the other side of good. Oh, as often happens, they even deny our existence. We are born, and our energy is gathered with great effort and great powers. It is as if the energy of so many willing souls, countless willing souls, is accumulated to form a great flame, a great light, the life that is born from the light. And so we are created. For this reason, we do not need a soul to incarnate and evolve, because we are already pure energy. You men do not know that your evolved souls, which become spirits of great wisdom, can come to be part of our wake, the wake of our energy, of our strength. And it all depends on the choices you make when you are engaged in living your lives on Earth. This is why we have the task of helping your soul to grow and evolve. We work for you so that you can become part of us. We are here for you. We are dedicated to you. And it is not important to know our name, how many we are, or what we are like. Many times man has tried to classify us as thrones, seraphim, cherubim, archangels, angels, but that is not what matters. And you, men, will never be able to classify us as mere men. Your human mind, your earthly condition, your dimension cannot comprehend the entire universe. You are a small part of the universe. You are limited by your nature. It is important, however, that you are aware that we exist and listen to our words. This book is not meant to classify us, but to open your heart to new horizons and, above all, to save your soul. As I told you, in the universe there is not only man, and for this reason, angels take care of many things. They have different roles, different energies. One could say that we care for the balance of the whole. And so, we also dedicate ourselves to the balance of man, which is part of the whole. But how does our work unfold? Simple, at least for us. When you are born, or rather, when your soul incarnates within the body and allows you to read my words, an angel is assigned to take care of it, your soul. This is what you call your guardian angel. But it is not only he who takes care of your soul. There is also the guiding spirit, of which I will speak to you later, and that accompanies your soul throughout your life. We also choose him at the moment when you see the light, that is, when your body emerges from the womb and is born. The guardian angel is the protector of your soul, but remember that the spirit guide is the master of your soul, the evolved master, the advisor of your life. And it is he, precisely he, the guiding spirit, who acts as the intermediary between you and us, and another friend you have, whom you will need to learn to love and thank. The guardian angel is placed by your side at the moment of birth, and he remains the same throughout your life. He does not change. Among all the angels, he is the one who is closest to you, because guardian angels are the angels closest to man. He is the one who gathers your prayers, requests for help, hopes, invocations, and transmits them to higher level angels. Have you seen? Even among us there are hierarchies, but ours are linked to the level of energy and knowledge, not to the level of ego, as is the case with you. Throughout the day, the energy of your guardian angel changes. It's as if you have 3 guardian angels in one. There is the one for the morning, the one for the afternoon, and the one for the evening. Everyone has a different energy, strength, and knowledge. Each person is specialized for that type of situation. The night is the strongest, because during the night man is in greater danger. In the night, there are shadows and more evil, so more strength is needed to counter it and to remain vigilant. The angel of the morning, on the other hand, is younger, and in the morning, man is awake and stronger, and he should be better able to defend himself with his free will, or rather, he should be able to have greater control over evil. The afternoon angel stands in the middle. He can converse with both and exchange information, and do you know why? Because the energy of the morning angel is too distant from that of the night. There must necessarily be someone in the center who provides the opportunity, and different energies come into contact and ensure a continuity of protection. But all 3 of these energies are part of a single angel. Later, I will teach you how to speak with your spirit guide. You may not know it, but it is he who acts as an intermediary with your guardian angels. He can speak to all 3. When you ask for help from the guardian angel, it is your spirit guide who delivers your requests to the higher realms like a postman. This is why you should learn the desire to connect with him. For example, in the morning when you wake up, learn to greet him and say good morning, just as you do with those beside you. Get used to thanking him all the love he has and continues to have for you, even if you ignore him, even if you do not listen to him, do not consider him, or worse, do not love him. And besides him, remember to greet and thank the guardian angel who, throughout the day, takes care to escort your soul as a good guardian. It is not important to know his name. What matters is knowing that there is someone close to you. The name is a need of yours. It serves humanity because it makes you different. We do not need it. We are not different. We are all angels and we recognize each other by our energy. You see me as no one and alone. Every step, every moment, and every movement or breath of your life is accompanied. When you complain about being alone, you ignore that you have all these presences beside you, whose only task is to help you grow and nurture your soul. A very difficult task for us, especially now in your present, where free will is used by man to choose paths that often do not lead to the light. Today your land, what was meant to be your paradise, the paradise of incarnate souls, is suffering greatly. Your land is suffering greatly because today you prefer to choose the dark side of life. You give it space, too much space. Thus, today there is more evil than good on earth. We angels are a great source of energy for you. But you do not call us. You do not believe. Many of you do not believe that we exist. You ignore us, it is only when you suffer and come closer to us. And what should we do in those moments? If we were to behave like you, we would have to ignore you, say that you do not exist, and not consider you, not love you. Instead, no, even in those moments, we embrace you, we help you, and we support you. Yes, we love you, even if you do not love us. And do you know why? Because we do not know hatred, and the only thing we know how to do is love. We are the executors of love. We are always by your side. There is only one thing we cannot do: choose for you. Choose in place of man. That is, we cannot intervene in your free will, in the choices you make. We can advise you, help you. But who can decide about your life? You are always alone. So, if you choose to follow unhealthy paths for your existence and your soul, we cannot intervene because you are always the only one who can choose what to do with your life. It is only you who must and can indeed truly live your life. We cannot live in your place. And it is not our fault or God's, as you are often accustomed to saying or thinking. If your life goes awry, everything that happens to you is nothing but the result of your choices. Therefore, when you unfortunately decide to take a winding, poorly lit, or dangerous path, we can only continue to be by your side, love you, help you if possible, and suffer alongside you as you face the consequences of an unhealthy choice. If you choose for your own good, we rejoice because your soul is growing and getting closer to us. Being aware that we exist helps to lighten your heart. Remember that those who walk hand in hand with us walk the path of salvation. So why do you insist on only listening to yourselves without worrying about who is around you? Why not learn to listen to us? We are always speaking to you. You just need to learn to listen to us. Dear soul, do not imagine my world in the sky. Seek me by your side. We are a breath. We are energy that moves quickly, which is why we are not matter. How could we pass from one world to another so swiftly if we had a body? We are the wind. The wind is our swift movement, and we do not have wings. Even if you imagine us that way, and we do not have sex either, because sex is part of the earthly dimension of matter. We, on the other hand, are energy. A lot of energy. We do not compare ourselves as we truly are, because your body would not be able to withstand our energy, and your mind would not be able to comprehend everything that is happening. For this reason, when we come to earth, we show ourselves to you and take on your appearances. We become like you and speak through you so that you can listen to us. The angels that take care of humans are at a level just above that of the guiding spirits. They are the angels closest to earth, and they are the ones in the universe who understand you more than any other angel. Among all the other celestial hierarchies, there are those who, given the task of nurturing your souls, know the world of men the best. They are angels compelled to understand them. Their work is very difficult because they are angels who must bring the laws of heaven to earth. It is no easy ask, especially today, in a world so changed. with a man so changed. The laws that once existed on earth no longer exist today, and everything is so different and far from what the earth was meant to be. That paradise for the souls, for man. The time has come to draw closer to us, to take back control of one's life. It is also you who is listening to my words. Try to learn to speak with us. You have everything to gain with the angels, you know. Try to live with this vision of us. Carry this book with you always. And when you need help, reread and reread my words, and draw strength from them, continuing to live with a new awareness that you are not alone. But how should one go about being helped by us? You've asked yourself that, haven't you? You've already asked yourself, right? It's not difficult. When a friend speaks to you, what do? You listen to him. And what if he speaks softly and if you can't hear what he says? Ask your friend to repeat. If you have the feeling that something is being communicated to you but you can't make out the words, what do you do? Well, pay attention to him and listen carefully. And perhaps you also ask him to speak louder. Good. You need to do the same with us. Just learn to listen. And above all, learn to call on us. Simple, isn't it? You don't have to do such difficult things. Sometimes you worry about doing many things, many rituals. We don't need this to connect with you. Learn to do as I have told you. I know that not everyone is capable of listening and recognizing us. But I am here for that, and I want to help you and teach you an exercise. To learn to listen to the angels. Make yourself comfortable in a room. Get cozy. A room with low, soft lighting that especially creates silence, especially around you. Close your eyes and empty your mind. Nothing should remain, as I asked you to do at the beginning. Get rid of all thoughts. And now, open the ears of your soul and heart, and close those that make you hear so many lies. And listen. Learn to listen deeply within yourself, with the ears of your soul and your heart. We are here. We are here for you. And if you can't hear us, ask us to raise our voices. We will do it. Our ears are open, you know, and they hear you. Ask us. Don't be in a hurry. And listen. Put yourself in a state of listening. Learn to listen with your soul and with your heart. What will remain etched inside you at that moment will not be your words, but finally ours. And if nothing remains, it is not because we do not speak to you, but simply because it is you who does not yet hear us and just needs to practice, or Don't worry, with time. If you can manage it, everyone can do it. And if you don't feel it, it's simply because you need to. Give more awareness to yourself. You need to believe more in yourself to believe that you can. Not only not hear the voice of a man, but also our voice, as it sometimes happens that you do not hear the voice of those who speak to you, of the men who speak to you. It may also happen that you do not hear our voice, but learn to believe that you can hear the voice of something that you do not see. Among your perceptions, there is not only the possibility of seeing, speaking, breathing, and feeling. We are accustomed to thinking that there are deeper perceptions in the world that humanity has yet to discover, and that must be explored gradually, very slowly, just like you do when you are a child. At the beginning, you are not able to walk on 2 legs. You crawl on 4. And you do it for a while before you manage to stand on 2 legs. Isn't it true? Well, to speak with us, you must do the same. You need to gradually get used to it, walk on your legs, because you still don't know how to do it. You must rediscover the senses that belong to you and that you have forgotten. You need to learn to move again with these senses. When you are children, all channels are open. You have a lot of potential at your disposal. The gifts and talents are intact, and they are ready to embrace everything. As one grows, many things are learned, but what is most important is often abandoned in favor of what is learned. The channels are closed and forgotten, along with the many additional senses that you have. Your mind, a positive element, at that point becomes negative because during your growth, those around you begin to condition it, transmitting concepts to you, getting you used to listening to others and not to yourself. In doing so, over time, you have indeed learned to listen to others, but you have forgotten to listen to yourself, to know yourself, and to discover the wonderful opportunities that the buried and abandoned channels hold for you. But now, it is time to return to being children and rediscover yourselves. So come on. Rejoice. Catch your breath. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. You must help yourself. When you have saved yourself, you will have saved and helped others as well. And I am here. And do not be afraid. Let go of the mind of your brain, put it to rest for a while, and open the mind of your heart. Start to discover and listen with your senses. Try to do what I told you. Call us with your heart. Call upon the forces of good that exist around you to help you. Listen. If you feel something or someone hovering around you, a gentle breeze, a tickle on your cheeks, a cheerful pinch on your hands, or head, or perhaps a great sense of peace, or a sudden warmth, well, don't be afraid. It will mean that you have succeeded, that the door has opened, and the journey has just begun. The contact has been established. And from that moment, you will see your perceptions increase. But what if it hasn't happened? If nothing has happened, don't worry. And above all, don't get demoralized. Very simply, the key got stuck on the first turn of the lock. So don't stop. Try and try again and keep going until the last turn of this lock. And do not be afraid because the door opens for everyone. Dear friends, thank you. I look forward to seeing you at the next episode of Summer Ring. Thank you for choosing us and see you soon. Listen to us again.